What are the top 10 best loadouts in Warzone right now? This video is half for you, half for me, because I've been running around using a different AR every game. Sometimes I use the NZ, sometimes the KG, sometimes the Kilo, sometimes the AMAX, and I have zero consistency. So we're going to be going over the best assault rifles to use in Warzone right now. Guys, sit back, relax, and let Randeezus take you on a ride. So it feels like every few months, Raven Software hits us with a balancing patch that slightly changes around the meta in Warzone. While this is a good thing, not only for the player, but also for YouTubers to make videos saying, no, this is the best build every single day, it is a little overwhelming when you take a break from Call of Duty and come back to the dumpster fire that is the Warzone weaponry. Fun fact, Warzone has 122 weapons. The meta is somehow always changing, yet also somehow never changes. Don't ask me to explain, but if you've been playing for long enough, you know what I'm talking about. So what are the good guns right now? The most recent patch was buffing a few Modern Warfare weapons and nerfing a few Vanguard weapons, which is honestly a very nice refresher, because as an OG Warzone player, I miss running Modern Warfare weapons. However, this does not mean that the Vanguard weapons aren't good anymore. Instead, actually, quite the opposite. Before I say anything, I know this chart might be the worst thing you've ever looked at in your entire life. We won't be looking at this exact one though, just wanted you to know for a reference as we're naming the guns on this list. For this list, I've gone through old and new metas, trying my best to find the 10 most powerful weapons in Warzone currently. If you do think that I missed a gun, let me know by commenting down below and I will try it out, and if I agree with you, I'll put it in a future video. Also, before I start shitting on some of these guns, they're all still very viable. They did make it into the top 10, just some of them are, way worse than others. Coming in at number 10, honestly, is the NZ41. They wrecked this gun with the newest nerf. And what's funny is people are still using it. So while they are, you have a chance to outperform your opponents. This gun is honestly middle in the pack in terms of time to kill, until its damage drop-off range of 33.5 meters makes this a potato gun. Honestly, hot garbage compared to some of the other guns on this list. Number 9 might be another surprise for you guys, the KG-M40. Another gun decimated by our overlords at Raven Software. This is another gun that all the YouTubers and streamers are using constantly, and even though it is still considered a top tier gun, when we're discussing all the best, it's one of the worst of the best. Number 8. This one really hurts, if I'm being honest. The Kilo. It is close to the number 7 gun, but it has way worse up close damage. The Kilo's only saving grace is its insane no recoil, but in a game with generally low recoil, that is not extremely necessary to worry about. The Kilo has always had a very special place in my heart, but looking at it objectively, it just ain't it, chief. Number 7, coming close to the Kilo, the Volk. This gun has roughly the same exact damage from a distance. The reason it's ranking higher on this list is because of its close range damage is absolutely insane. It's more like an SMG, honestly, and if you're running a sniper, I honestly think this might be one of the greatest guns for you. Its only problem is after 28 meters, it almost doubles in time to kill. Not only is that like rough damage, but it can also throw a wrench in your gunfights, as an enemy may be able to eat 4 to 5 more bullets based solely on creating a few more meters of distance between you. Now on to number 6, the CR56 AMAX. This gun is another one of my old school favorites. I made plenty of videos about this one, as well as the Kilo. So even though you may see me running these two guns, I would honestly recommend against it. Not that it's a bad weapon, it's just not as strong as some of the other weapons that would serve you much better. Number 5, the Krig. Honestly, I was searching pretty hard for some Cold War weapons and remembered that this gun had a pretty nice buff a few weeks ago, so I decided to give it a go. It's actually not that bad. Better than a few classics. If you can tame its unusual recoil pattern, it may serve you well. Just remember that not only does it have an initial damage drop-off range at 34 meters, but another one at 57 meters as well. It's the only gun on this list that has 2 drop-off ranges. Number 4, the AK-47 from Cold War. This is where the guns start to become very viable. I can't say that I had the privilege to use the AK when it was meta in Verdansk days, but I did see a lot of streamers use it. And being an OG Call of Duty player, I love when classic weapons like the AK-47, the M4A1, MP5, AK-74U are meta. They remind me of Call of Duty 4, when I was but a little child getting wrecked from late 20-year-olds. And now I'm a late 20-year-old getting wrecked by 10-year-olds using the same gun. guns. Time is a crazy beast. Number 3, not gonna lie, this one makes me very, very happy. The Ram 7. I love Modern Warfare guns, so I'm ecstatic that this gun made it onto the list. To be fair, it's my own list, and I could be throwing the riot shield on it if I wanted, but I tried my best to be unbiased. The Ram 7 is an absolute powerhouse to use. Its only setback is its very unusual recoil pattern. On mouse and keyboard, it's definitely a little easier to control, but whether you're a mouse and keyboard warrior or a controller nerd, I would definitely give it a shot. It is not going to disappoint. Number 2, the Cooper Carbine. This is actually the gun that I've been using for the past week or two. I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. It feels very similar to like the Vanguard version of the Kilo with a little bit more recoil. It has pretty high fire rate, manageable recoil, and high damage. So it's honestly a better version of the Kilo, yes. Its recoil can definitely take a little bit of getting used to, so run some fortunes keep with it first to get used to it, but all around, it is a solid gun. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're sitting down for this one. The AS-44. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, I've never actually used this gun. I literally was just throwing in guns to try to find the highest damage, and this beauty presented itself. For reference, its long range damage is equivalent to the NZ41's short range damage. This gun is a powerhouse and will more than likely be nerfed in the future. If you haven't yet, drop everything that you're doing and go use this gun. You're not gonna regret it. Guys, those are the top 10 best guns in Warzone right now. Go forth and use them, and then thank me for showing you them. All jokes aside, guys, if you liked the video, like the video. If you loved the video, subscribe down below, and let me know in the comment section if you already knew all of this info. Peace out.